Ready? Start. In presenting this report, my first duty would be to thank the Labour Commission for preparing this valuable document. The Commission have gone deep into the various aspects of this problem and have produced an important and valuable document. The Commission had to tour a lot and they had to put in very hard work. I should like to convey my thanks and congratulations to the chairman of the commission, C. Debar, and also to his other colleagues for this useful contribution. As the House is aware, the problem of the scheduled tribes has been constantly engaging the attention of the government since the constitution was framed and adopted. Still, the government were not satisfied with the actual progress made. It was in that context that the government appointed two committees before the Labour Commission was appointed. The first was the Elvin Committee, which especially dealt with the problem of the tribal blocks. The second committee was appointed on the suggestion of the Estimates Committee to study the problem of the backward communities, especially on the top of that, in pursuance of Article 339 of the Constitution, the government appointed the Labour Commission, and now it is for the House to give its opinion on the recommendations made by the Commission. Our desire is that as soon as the Parliament, this House, as well as the other House, has discussed this report and expressed its views, we will go ahead with the recommendations made and we will certainly like that they are implemented as early as possible. I do not want to enter into generalities, but it must be said that our country is vast and our problems are also immense. Generally, we are a very poor country, and it is true that during the British days we did not actually realize what poverty meant. People suffered without much protest, but now, when the country is trying to go ahead with economic development, it is but natural that every section of our community should like to progress simultaneously. I think if we are frank, we should admit that there are certain weaker sections of our community in the country who have not made as much advance and progress as others have done. It has therefore become very important that we should lay special emphasis on the development of the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes. It was suggested by the Commission that there should be a separate department for the scheduled tribes. This matter was considered in the conference, but it was generally felt that if the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes are separated to be dealt with by different departments, there will be a good deal of duplication of work because two sets of officers will have to traverse the same area and more or less consider the same problems. It was therefore the unanimous opinion of the Conference of State Ministers that one department should deal with the problems of the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes, and it was also agreed that there should be a separate directorate for the same. If there is a separate directorate, then it can concentrate on problems concerning the scheduled tribes. It was also suggested that this directorate, which will have to be set up in all the states and especially in the states where the population of the scheduled tribes exceeds 1 million, should also look after the work relating to the denotified and the nomadic tribes. In addition to, as I said, the work relating to the scheduled tribes, the conference was in favor of having tribes advisory councils to advise on the protection and development of the scheduled tribes in all the states and union territories, whether they have scheduled areas or not. The House, I am sure, is aware that there are scheduled areas and non scheduled areas. Even in non scheduled areas, a large number of scheduled tribes live, but for the special programs, we have decided to concentrate on the scheduled areas first. I shall come to that point later on, but I am merely mentioning that the scheduled tribes live both in scheduled areas and in non scheduled areas. It was decided that wherever at present there is a combined reservation in the services for the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes. Separate percentages of reservation should be fixed by the state governments, and it was agreed that the state governments would instruct all local authorities like municipalities, panchayat samits, Jila Parishads, etc., to follow the policies laid down by them in regard to the representation of all scheduled tribes in the services. It was decided to have a small committee of officials from the tribal welfare department and the different departments at all state level to ensure coordination